Hi everyone, my name is Ezrah Mariam and I'm a first year PhD student at the Nanoscale and Surface Engineering group under the supervision of Professor Satheesh Krishnamurthy here at the Open University. I'm so excited today to introduce you guys to our two new intern students. They're year 10 and year 12 students. They're young, they're passionate and they're eager to learn. So let's go inside the lab and meet them. So we're doing this video. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Alright, I'm Shreyas. I'm from Birmingham and I'm in year 12.
I'm Devkrrish. I'm in year 10 and I live in Milton Keynes.
Do you want to have a chat with me outside?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go. So guys, since we're just coming back from the lab, would you like to elaborate on what you were doing in there?
Yeah, so we're working on photocatalysis and we were specifically looking at the degradation of methylene blue.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Why? So, what made you take this internship? Shreyas,
Well, from a young age, I've always been interested in chemistry. Probably what led me to want to do chemical engineering at uni. And so I wanted to gain some hands-on practical experience, which you don't get much of in school. And so that's why I wanted to do this internship here.
And what about you, Dave? Why did you decide to take this internship?
So in school I do chemistry and biology, GCSE, and I find it quite interesting. And also my dad works as a scientist here. He showed me a couple of things he does and I just wanted to get a better knowledge on that perspective. Yeah.
So you said your father is a scientist.
Yeah.
Do you think that in some way that helped shape your interest in...
Yeah, definitely.
How do you think
Yeah.
that affected your... Do you think like family background plays a part?
Well, definitely just the things that he shows me from coming back from work. Recently he went to Turkey for the wastewater treatment. He showed me that and I was quite interested by that, yeah.
So Shreyas, you said that you were expecting to get some hands-on training in the lab. Do you think your expectations were met? How did it feel to actually be in the lab, be doing some real, hands-on lab work?
Of course, whatever we did in the last 3 days definitely exceeded my expectations because it was very interesting from every perspective. Like from on the first day when we did wastewater treatment, looking at 5 different types of contamination in it, and then the next day when we prepared photocatalyst GCN samples with Camilla, it was all very interesting. Like, I learned a lot as well, which is what I came here for, to be honest.
So what is the application of what you were doing? Where is it used in real life, in solving real life issues?
So like we looked at the wastewater treatment, the photocatalyst used to purify the water, well using many steps of course, like we learned, there's 5 steps to it, and also removing the dyes, so that could be really helpful in industries in the future.
And of course, like around the world, so many countries don't have access to clean water, clean drinking water, but they have very large populations, and so this is obviously a big world problem.
It's a huge...
Yeah, and so this is one of the applications for photocatalysis.
It's for the betterment of the society.
Yeah.
So how do you think what you've done here is aligned with what you've done in school?
So something that I have done at school and I did here in my 3 days was like risk assessment, for example. Like I'd already known about how to do it because just a few weeks ago I had a big practical project for my school that I had to complete, and then I had to complete a risk assessment for that, and same thing for here, we had to do a risk assessment when we were carrying out the production of the photocatalyst. But something new that I found here, that I encountered, was the actual practical aspect of catalysis in general. Because we'd always learn about that at school, but we'd never done anything practical to do with it then. So this is my first time doing it.
how did it feel to actually implement what you've learned in school, to actually implement it in a practical application?
Nah, it's like it fit, to be honest. Like I understood how it was used and stuff, especially because the catalysis part was towards the latter stages. I understood exactly how it worked, and obviously making the practical part of it easier as well. Yeah.
You, Dave, how do you think what you learned in school is aligned with what you did here?
So it's slightly aligned with school, since all of this is based on nanoparticles. We did have a few lessons on that roughly, and they taught us about nanoparticles, its properties, stuff like that. But I'd say something that I learned new was, well, majorly, I learned everything here was quite new to me, including mainly the photocatalysis, obviously, because I haven't actually done that in school yet. So it was really interesting learning about how these can be used in real-world applications.
So, and how do you guys think what you did here, this internship, is going to help you in your career?
So, given that I want to do chemical engineering at uni, having some proper experience in the lab is something that is very easy to talk about as well, very valuable. And so I'll already know how to work some stuff before I'm in uni, and in the future as well, when I'm working a job, probably to do with chemical engineering, it will be great knowing that I've already done this before. Yeah, and also working as a team with each other is very valuable too.
Teamwork is
for
really
anything.
important as a scientist. And what about you, Dave?
Yeah, I think teamwork's really important, especially in science. So you have people from different fields working in one area. You need to learn to adapt and work to in their fields.
Do you think you learned teamwork working here in our lab?
Yeah, definitely.
Working with our team?
Working with the team.
Did we inspire you?
Yeah, definitely. Got a better experience of
Thanks.
how to be in science labs.
So, what would be your message to your classmates and maybe your juniors back in school about taking an internship in the field of science or even in their respective fields?
I mean, if one of my classmates is interested in science, then of course, by all means, an internship like this is really valuable because it teaches you the ins and outs of a person working in that field, their day of life. You know?
What about you, Dave?
I
Do you
think
think
the
this
same, yeah.
internship helps you
It has
in
helped me,
shaping
yeah.
your career goals?
I think it's helped me get a better vision of what I want to do in the future, and also working in science, how it feels like in your day-to-day life, for example. I think my friends would value a lot, and I'd say if there's something they want to do, then they should probably, it would be good to take an internship like this, get a better experience.
That's great. Okay, so to wrap it up, why don't you guys define your whole experience here in one word for us?
In one word,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
probably insightful. You know, it's insightful for sure.
I'd say informative. Yeah, it's very informative.
No, let me add one more word to that. Probably fun. It's definitely
Exciting, very
Yeah.
exciting.
fun. Oh, I think words for no reason.
Wow, you guys, you just re-energized my motivation for PhD. When I don't think there could have been a better ending to this conversation. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank you.
Well,
for
thank
your
you.
time,
Thank you.
And
for
thanks
for doing this internship and doing this interview with us.
And I got to thank the
And-
whole team as well.
Yeah.
Talia, Ezra, Lois,
Owen.
Owen, David, Ajay, Satheesh, everybody, seriously. Camilla as well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
thank
we were glad to have you, and you guys, you are a motivation, not just to us, to all the young minds out there who are just beginning their careers and they're aspiring, you know. So thank you so much. So, because you know what they say, you've already lost the race if you're not in the race. Thank you, guys.